To that. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another edition, another installment, another episode.
Come on with the backdrop.
Of the Black Men Win podcast. Of course, we got another one. I'm excited for this one, man. In pure nature, I'm always excited for my interviews because I feel like each interview that I do, they get better and better and better each time. And I'm just grateful for the people that do come on and grateful to them just reaching back out to me. You feel what I'm saying? You know, because I'll be like, and extend the hand. I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? And they be like, oh, no problem. I'll be like, thank you, Jesus.
Listen, reach out and touch somebody's hand.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, again, some of you may know the person's voice, some may don't. But in true Black Men Win podcast fashion, as first question, we're gonna let the actual guest, the interviewee, introduce themselves. So go ahead, my brother, introduce yourself.
What up, doe? It is me, Cecil B. It's like, okay, you know I play all day, but my name is Cecil. Born and raised in Detroit, Michigan.
Yes, sir. 313 in the
313. You know about me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But yeah, I'm from Detroit. I met you at Grand Valley. I'm a graduate of Grand Valley. I now live in New York City. And yeah, I'm just a Black man out here trying to live my life accordingly and, you know, make sure I'm connecting with Black folks, getting Black folks to the places they want to be.
Listen.
While I'm still trying to lift and climb myself. You know, I'm a plant dad. So shout out to my little plant right here.
Listen.
Dog dad, all of the things I am.
Cecil B is literally, he's a plug. You understand what I'm saying? He is literally a plug. I think he's been like that since I've known him in college. Real talk.
I get it from my mama.
He's just been a plug. You understand what I'm saying? He's just a plug to everything. You feel what I'm saying? If you need something, Cecil, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't want to give it out. You feel what I'm saying? But he does work for a very, 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 very wealthy company. You feel what I'm saying? And
is that what we call them these days? With
listen, I'm just saying, with y'all changing names and everything, you know what I'm saying? Y'all out here.
You hilarious, Ty.
Y'all out here. You know what I'm saying? Cecil is one of those Black men that you really gotta connect with, because Cecil is one of those people that he's there and you gotta get him. But when he's not there, he's not there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you have to get him when because everybody needs Cecil B, and you find his influence, not just around the corporate space, but just in the social space as well. You see his influence just around people. People want to be around Cecil B. You understand what I'm saying? I've told him so many times, I said, it's time for you to start this brand of yours. Like, what are we doing? It's time. You understand what I'm saying? It's time. And so I'm so excited to have him on the podcast. And this is for you, bro, to just give you your flowers and just say thank you for being a Black man who wins continuously every day. You feel what I'm saying? So congratulations to you and everything that you do. Let's give him a hand clap of praise. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right, Cecil, we got some things to talk about. You understand?
What up, though?
Yeah. So going into my second question, it's 2022, right? We're in 2022. Things are getting a little better when it comes to Black men, right? A little bit slowly but surely. And I want to know this. When we talk about, and I call them the 5 areas of the Black male Ferris wheel, right? These feelings these areas that we sort of, some we tapped into more, some we don't tap into at all. And I want to get your thoughts on these spiritually. When we talk about, you know, Black men tapping into their spiritual, their mental, their emotional, their financial, and their physical, do we tap into, you know, some more than others? Do we need to tap into each one a little bit as we go? And if we don't tap into any of those, why don't you think we tap into them at all?
Oh, that's a loaded question. Loaded question. So I am in a book club, and we are reading this book called B-Boy Blues. And
B-Boy Blues. I'll write that down.
Something about it is it struck me because I feel like black men, we don't get a chance to exist as children, right? Like we are basically engineered to be machines in a sort. So when you are bringing a child up to be a machine, they lack emotional intelligence, they lack financial intelligence, they lack spiritual intelligence. And I feel like we're robbed of that at times because everybody's so focused on us becoming men, but masculine men, and the way to protect not only themselves, but other people. So I think where we are today is that men are tapping more into their emotional side. They're tapping into like their more spiritual side. But when you think about all the years it has taken to get there, we're missing out. So if we are supposed
I was going to ask you that. Yep.
Yeah. So we miss out, right? Because you know, our mothers are trying to protect us from joining gangs. Our, you know, now we have to protect our little sisters as we should. Then it's like, oh, I am feeling something happened to me today, but in order to be a man, I don't need you to show your emotions, suck it up, don't cry. And then it goes into like, oh, okay, I want you to be a man, but I want you to be the man that I intend for you to be. So when you think about like black men and the way that we're brought up, we really don't grow until we gain our own consciousness. And by the time we gain that, is it too late? It's never too late.
I was about to ask you that because I'm like, is it too late?
It's never too late.
Right.
But it's catching up. And since we are behind most of the people who identify as women, it impacts everything around us. The way that people raise their children, the way that you show up and know how to be when you're going through like your adulthood, when you enter the workforce and you don't know how to say, oh, I need help. So you suffer in silence. Like it impacts so much because we don't get a chance to experience what it means to just be a human being as a child.
Wow.
So to answer that question, have we moved? Have we moved and have we increased? Yes, but we still have a lot of work to do, right? I think back to even my mom, and I was telling her, like, you know, can you cuss on this podcast? Because I'm a cusser.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so you know, growing up, my mom is an advocate of ass whooping. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Lord. Yes.
This is an example of like, you don't learn things or your consciousness like broadens once you get older, because I thought that was the appropriate way to have people listen to you or to respect you.
Right.
But now that I'm a little bit older and I'm a little bit more like experienced with life, I'm thinking those whoopings meant nothing. You know, like they absolutely meant nothing.
Yeah.
And I didn't learn anything because I'm naturally a rebel. So my mom used to hit me, I used to laugh, you know, like, which would piss her off even more. And sometimes it hurt. But I was telling her, it's like, if you are, and I don't raise kids, I don't have kids. The closest thing to a child that I have is my dog. But even then, it's like, if I need you to listen to me and I need you to grow, I don't need to chastise you. I don't need to beat you. What I need to do is like have a conversation for you to understand the implications of the shit that you're doing that's wrong.
Right.
And I need to ask you like, what is happening for you, you know, to feel this way or do these type of things. And my mom just wasn't like,
she wasn't trying to hear that.
She wasn't trying to hear it, you know? And it's like, hey, I just want you to know if we would have done things differently as a child, would I be different? I don't know. But I've always been in my own little zone. So it's just like, we got to change the way that we raise our black men.
That's true.
The way that we invest in them, because we need so much more. Because the women are ahead of us. People who identify as women or are born as such, they're ahead of us because they're already nurtured and fed that emotional intellect, that spiritual intellect, just as, you know, as a culture. But we don't get that. Because we're being raised to be machines and to be armor, which all those things are necessary.
Be the protector, right?
Be a protector.
But the protector has feelings. The protector has
feelings, yes. And it's
Like,
okay.
the heart. And,
Yeah.
and I think it's okay to acknowledge that. I've always asked, why do I understand where women come from when it comes to Black men and how they treat them. I was raised by a single mother who I saw black men treat her filthy. You understand what I'm saying? And her treat them with the utmost love and respect, cooking for them and shit. I almost stabbed my stepdad.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because you wanted to cuss out my mama. I didn't tolerate that.
Right.
I almost stabbed him.
Right.
You know? And it was like, she was like, no. But at that moment, I said, I never wanted to be a man like that. Never. Right. Now, I'm not saying I haven't been. I'm definitely not perfect. But in a sense, I've always advocated for Black men expressing their emotions. I've always seen, and this has been a pattern, Black women getting tense when emotions are expressed by said protector, right? Because they know all for Black men is protect. And most of the time, to all the time, Black men are going to do just that, protect. Yeah. And as you said, it hasn't been until this era where we're actually kind of bringing the protector shield down just a little bit, allowing our emotions to feel.
Yeah.
And
the feeling and the expression that we have to grow outside of, like, anger.
Yes.
It's okay for you to be angry and puff your chest in.
Right.
You know, as a little kid, they used to be like,
yeah.
People used to love that. Like, oh, look at him getting angry.
Like, oh, he gonna get
mad. And it was encouraged. Like,
right.
Do your mad face, do your mad face, do your mad face. But then when it's the opposite, it's no, you don't do that.
Right.
So when you grow up as a man, the emotion that you feel most comfortable with is anger or to be upset, because it goes back to the protection. Not only the protection for you, but the protection of me.
Exactly.
So the more that I puff my chest up and the more angry I feel, hopefully those who are less of a person or a man than I am will fall away, right? So we gotta let our men feel the emotions, and it's okay, right?
And you know what? In a past interview, shout out to Darius, we talked about how anger is like one of the things we have to work on as Black men.
Listen.
Right, like we internally as Black people, we angry, but as Black men particularly, we gotta work on it. You understand what I'm saying? Because we all, as happy and as at peace as many of us want to be or are, there is still an underbelly of anger. Every time you see a Black man dying at the hands of anything, right? That can be police brutality most of the time, or that can really just be Black on Black, man on man, just killing each other, just to kill.
Right.
And it's just like, why? And I don't know if it's just me, but it's just like they're getting younger and younger, Cecil.
Yeah, but it just goes back to it's important to just make sure that we have homes where a man is solid, and whatever that means to him. But like a lot of us don't get the opportunity to experience that two-person family home.
You're right. That's right.
And I can only think back to my father, right?
Right.
Who in my image will always, in my vision, is an angry man, because my dad was physically abusive to my mom, right? So when I talk about this, it's like, you know how to show anger,
right?
And you know how to let that anger manipulate you into whatever it is. But on the opposite side, when a person that you love needs true love, or empathy, or to be, nurtured, to be wanted, to be felt,
right?
You fail in that department.
You don't know how to do that, or
You don't know how to do that. So it's just all about, like, even growing up, if I give you a hug, people are like, hey, bro, like that. Like, and I would be conscious of that, because like, oh, it doesn't mean that you are gay because I want to give you a hug. Because at this point, I don't give a damn. I don't care if you're gay, straight, whatever. If I meet you, there's going to be some type of embrace because I know you need to be
embraced. Exactly. Hello.
I know you need it. I know you need it.
And you know what? That goes into our third question of generational curses, or like I like to call them now, generational patterns. Which ones do you see like those, right? In terms, even as an example of what you just said, where back in the day we didn't always adapt up, like we didn't, and now we're so ready to embrace because we need that embrace. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So what are some generational patterns that you have seen that has kind of stopped our progression, right? Even in that example that you just gave.
I mean, I just think the whole idea of masculinity is changing. Masculinity is a curse within itself, right? Like men now are just more open to being whatever they define as being a man,
right?
And what that means. So me giving you a hug doesn't mean, you know, you got a little sugar in your tank, for the layman's terms. Right. Like me telling you that, oh, for the longest, I don't recall until recently my dad telling me that he loved me, right?
Right. Wow.
Right. And you think about all of these things that has to do with like masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
But now we see men being more embracing. We see men being more open. We see men being more expressive when it comes to the way that we dress. I remember when I was wearing skinny jeans in college, like, and before college, it was, why you got them tight ass pants on, right? To now, the people that inflicted that same, like, oh, you gay, which
are the ones that are now embracing the culture.
Are embracing the culture because you understand that your outer appearance has nothing to do with your sexual identity, and masculinity is changing. It's just like people are owning that in their own right, and I love that. So if you ask me, how did you
feel when, like, because let's be honest, you were a pioneer in that in sort of a way, right? In Grand Valley, how did you feel?
I mean,
the shift happened, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody was talking shit about him. Let's just keep that.
Yeah, everybody was talking shit about this.
Right, the skinny jeans. But I seen the skinny jeans as like a like if you got like a slim fit, I was like, I can't do too skinny. But if I'm like, if I can do a slim fit, that works, right?
Right.
I saw the fashion in it. You understand what I'm saying? It was like, because I'm looking at y'all with the skinny jeans, and I'm like, damn. Or the you know, the blazer with the pants or something like that.
Right.
And it was like people would let's keep this a beam. People
flame you.
They clowning.
You getting flamed.
You are getting flamed when you're coming with the floods. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you flooded even a little bit, people were flaming you, but little by little, year by year, it just started to and look where we are now. We flooding to the damn knees at this point.
Listen, I make fun of my brothers. My brothers are people, and I go home these days, and my brother's pants are tighter than mine have ever been. Right? so it's like, I think it's so important if you, and I mean that, and I love my brother to death. Right? My brother has always called me Little Kurt Franklin in a sense, like trying to make fun of me. But now I got home, I'm like, damn, bro, your pants tighter. You need to
ain't that wild?
Loosen it up.
It's crazy.
But I think with me, I have always walked in my own right and my own lane. Right. Just because like I'm a roaster in my layman's sense. So I know if I'm gonna roast you, I gotta be comfortable in whatever I bring to the table. Exactly. If I get roasted. But most importantly, beyond that, to take a little deeper, I've always been comfortable and confident of who I've been and how I've shown up.
Right. And so, that's facts. As long as I've known you, facts.
Yeah. So the question of like, if people said something, people have been saying stuff about me since I was a kid, right? So I just created my own, again, armor, protection style, which ended up being who I am, is that like, hey, I'm going to do what I want to do it and when I want to do it. And
you've always had a fearless, it's always been, since I've known you since college, just like seeing you be the president of this, be on this board, be on that board, be here, be there. I never seen your whatever I did, like whatever you got going on, I never seen what that fucking was. I always seen you for the professional that you were. You understand what I'm saying? Like you were killing it in the I was like, how is this nigga? We always wondered, like, how is this nigga killing it in every fucking sector? Like, I'm just like,
I had, and this goes back to upbringing. And as a kid, I've always been the responsible one, right? Like,
are you the oldest, right?
No, I'm the middle child.
Really?
And my mom raised her brother's 2 children, so I'm still the middle child.
Gotcha. Okay.
But ever since I was a kid, people have always put like, oh, you're the responsible one, or you're going to be the one to do stuff. And, you know, like if other bad kids are doing bad shit, oh, I know Cecil wasn't a part of that. Right. So as a kid, I built this mentality of like, I have to be the good one. I can't do the shit that you are doing.
Right.
Because like everybody put this pressure on me that I was the responsible one. And it wasn't until
I feel that
I was in like during the pandemic, and it fucked with me for the simple fact I realized I wasn't enjoying my life to its full extent because I was so worried about being the responsible one, or being the person that people looked up to. Right. Which sounds good to a lot of people. Like, what are you complaining about? It's not a complaint, but it's a reflection that there are just a lot of things that I didn't allow myself to do because I was worried about how other people saw me, and I put other people's thought into me, and it kind of made me in a robot in a sense. You know, even when I think back to college, Todd, like, you know, y'all and people in BSU, I'm 21, like, no, I can't buy you no drinks because you ain't 21 yet. Who the fuck am I, you know? Or even when it comes to like dating in college, like, oh, I can't like you, like you in my org, I'm the president, what I look like dating somebody that looks up to me. Like, it's just all these little nuances that it didn't take me until I'm 27 to realize I'm proud of those things, but there's just so much of my life that I possibly lost out on because I was so busy being responsible, not understanding that I can be responsible and still live my life, right? Which I've fully stepped into recently and doing what I want to do and still being able to be successful. And yeah, it's a crazy paradigm. My mom would say like, well, you know, parents know their children, so they always know it's going to be that one. And I said, I get that. But what we don't really pay attention to, it goes back to, again, upbringing, how like your words and the things that you pour into children will create them into a being that they weren't intended to be, right? Like your words as a parent will carry over, and this person will grow into an adult. And at one point you would think like, who am I really? Like,
exactly. And you have to take that self-reflection.
Yeah. And I'm a big self-reflector, which I call myself like Iyanla Van Zant in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta be, you sort of have to be. You have to be. If you want this shit to work, you gotta be Iyanla Van Zant.
You gotta self-reflect.
Yes.
You have to self-reflect. And I did a lot of self-reflection during the pandemic. And the pandemic was great for me because I'm kind of an introvert. Like, I don't really like people like that. Like, you know, I'm a fake extrovert. You know, when I'm out, you're going to think like, oh, okay, Cecil.
Thanks, man. Thanks. That's right.
I really don't want to talk to nobody. But like being at home really made me just think like, damn, I've lived a good life, but I fully lived my life to the way that I wanted. You know?
You wanted to, yeah.
To the point where on Facebook, my siblings cuss in their statuses, oh, fuck you, this, you know, suck them, this, right? But I can't cuss. As soon as I cuss on Facebook, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So it's just those little nuances. Like, you have to, once you gain your full consciousness or whatever of who you are as an adult, you really got to think about like, what are the things that you want out of life? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to portray? And step fully into that.
I hear that. Come on, Cecil.
Okay. Because maybe.
Okay. Listen, you gotta, I want authenticity with with everything, right?
Yeah.
And it's like when you start to self-reflect, and it was when you start to get into that motion of, okay, am I living for everybody else or am I living for me? And
Yeah.
once I got to the point where I was living for me, ooh, people didn't like that.
No, people never like it.
People didn't like that. And people didn't like it. People didn't know what that looked like. And I'm like, you don't gotta know.
You don't got to know.
You don't gotta know what it looked like for me, because it's for me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what's for you will be for you.
Right.
I'm not here to portray nobody else. I'm gonna portray me. Now, if you like that, that's cool. If you don't like that, it's even better. That's fine. Keep it aside. You feel me?
Okay.
But I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And so I guess that goes into our fourth question. Like, as Black men, because we have to, as individuals and as a community, we have to do better, right? And I think because I'm seeing another baby boom that's happening. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we as Black men have to definitely be better for the next generations, our nieces, our nephews, our kids. You feel what I'm saying? So what do we need to do, Cecil? What can we do? How can we be better for the next generation? Because now we're the ones that's growing up, right? We're getting into our 30s. You understand what I'm saying? We're getting there.
September is right around the corner. Okay.
Listen, I know it's coming. You feel what I'm saying? I know it's coming.
Right.
Right around the corner, bro. We right there. Like, for some of us, it's a year. For some of us, it's right there. For some of us, it's 2 years. But as I continue to grow up, and as I continue to just grow in myself, we ain't in college no more, right? We're now the uncles and the aunties and the godfathers and the godmothers, and we're taking on more responsibility. And I'm finding that for some of us, it's new, because I know it was new for me. I'm just gonna be real for that, right? It was new for me taking on that type of responsibility, because now I'm growing up, and the fact that you find the need and the want to give me the responsibility is like, whoa, what, for real? That's deep and that's real. So how can we as Black men be better in that sense of being better for the next generation?
This is so cliche, but you got to be better for yourself,
right?
Like,
first,
you have to self-reflect. You have to understand the things that you've learned about yourself. Some of that may need unlearning,
right,
for you to be exactly who you are meant to be.
Right.
Because if you continue on with everything that you've been taught and learned about yourself, you just teaching other people how to be fucked up.
Right.
Okay.
That's
so, like, how are you to parent me if you're not even full and whole into who you are?
Right.
So it's important that we reflect. It's important that we unlearn the things that aren't aren't good for us. It's important that we see what our pains are, what our glories are, and step into them. Right. It's important that we understand that it's okay to say oh yeah, I messed up. Once we do those things, which we should be doing now.
Yes.
And for those of you who want to be parents, take me out of that equation, because I don't want to be nobody's parent. But even with my nephews and my nieces, I try to not do the things that I've been taught or learned, and trying to do it a different way. I love Monique, right? And Monique said, I'm fighting for the little girls and boys that aren't here yet, right? And in order to fight for the little boys and girls that aren't here yet, you got to make sure that your shit is together.
Oh, facts.
And truly together. Truly together. And it doesn't have anything to do with finances, but it's all to do with the mentality and the spirituality of you. Right. Just getting those in tune. Once you get those two things in tune, everything else will fall into place. And our future will be better.
Boom.
We gotta work on ourselves first. We got a lot of broken people teaching unbroken shit that's created unbroken children, that's passing it down to their broken children. It's just broken. Everybody's broken. and the pattern continues.
Drop a bomb for that.
Okay, listen.
Drop a bomb for that one. That was
Okay.
lit.
That's why you got to make sure you be clear who you take advice from, because it's a lot of broken people out here giving advice, and it's like, but baby,
we are broken. What do we?
You know,
what I'm saying? We gotta
broken in their own dynamic.
You know what? Exactly.
Put like some of the pieces together.
Yes.
You know, how am I out here talking to you about financial responsibility, and I'm out here broke as fuck in debt? Like,
I can't do that.
Like that just don't make sense. Now I can see if it's a conversation of and like encouraging people to aspire to do X, Y, Z, but you can't be out here preaching a talk that you're not even walking in. So it's important to step into what you are doing, what you are working on, and allow that to set people in a direction of like freedom and progress.
Wow, drop a bomb for that again.
Listen.
Okay, Cecil, you dropping some gems right now. All right, bro.
You play entirely too much time.
Okay, bro. You dropping some gems. Listen, last question, bro. When you hear the phrase "black men win," when you hear that, what does that mean to you?
Oh, I love black men. Like, black men win is, I think is literally the DNA of, I would say, the vibe that you know, like it's the DNA. Like, black men win once black men fully step into their winning power and not allowing like the craziness of the world, the negativity of the world to impact who we are. I think like we're winning, but I'm talking about winning to like the 110th power. Black men winning is everything. Like, it is who you are as a person, who you show up, what you're teaching people to be. It's you step into your own power, into your destiny, owning who you are as a being, owning and defining your masculinity. It's all those things. Right. Like, just be the best you.
That you can be.
That you can be. We have create it in the vibe that you want it to be.
Listen, we had one of our interviewees said, when black men win is when black men win.
Yeah, it's when black men win. Like, the winning is already there, but you got to step into the winning and own it, though.
Yes.
You know,
own that like, winning, bro.
The people people will win, but don't step into the winning or the what is it called?
Let me tell you something.
The impact of winning. Like, we want to keep our wins and we want to be subtle about it. Like, step into the shit and teach other people how to win.
Let me tell you something. When I fully stepped into my winning mode, like for real, is when I started really understanding my blessings. You understand what I'm saying? Past and present, really understanding them. I was like, wow. Because it's just not, because when you realize it's not about yourself, right? It's just not about you. It's about a community of people around you. Then you start to understand, like, okay, we're doing this for a bigger purpose. So literally, when black men win, it's when black men win. So I want to thank Cecil. I know Cecil don't like people like that, you know what I'm saying? But he loves.
I love people.
He loves people. He just don't like to be around people like that.
For long periods of time.
For long periods of time. You understand what I'm saying? But do you want them to give you? Do you want them to follow you on social media and stuff like that? Do you want to social? Okay. I just want to.
I'm trying to step into my winning, right?
Okay, right. So give me your social media handle and everything like that, so they can follow you, Cecil B.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
It is. I only operate on Instagram. You can't find me on nowhere else. You can find me on Twitter, but the Twitter is like, it's me, Cecil B, but I don't be posting on there for real. That was Grand Valley days when
he's only on Instagram, guys. So follow on Instagram. We'll have the link in the description. Again, Cecil, thank you for coming through. Thank you to everybody that listens to the podcast and has listened to this episode. This will actually be a part of our Black History Month. So this will be out. Usually we don't have 3 episodes for the month. We usually do like 2 every 2 a month. But this is Black History Month. I'm just dropping. We just gonna drop this, okay?
Drop it for
we gonna drop it for the people because the people gonna want it. You understand what I'm saying? So we appreciate you for coming on, Cecil. Again, thank you so much. Round of applause for you. You feel me?
I don't know what
ahead, give it to him, guys. Yes, you feel me. So thank you guys for listening. Again, follow the podcast on Instagram, BMW Podcast with an underscore. You feel what I'm saying? So underscore BMW Podcast on Instagram, Black Men Win Podcast on Facebook. You can also follow my network page on Twitter and on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribers are going up. Views are going up. I'm loving it. You feel them? You feel what I'm saying? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So please subscribe. Please follow THC Media _ on Twitter, THC Media Network on both. So you can just find us with that. We'll have all the links in the description box when the episode drops. All right. Love you guys. This has been another episode. And we out. Thank you, Cecil.
Listen, step into your glory, young brother.